Welcome to this explainer, where we're going to bridge that critical gap between front-end UI testing and back-end API testing. Let's just dive right in. Software testing isn't just about clicking buttons on a screen anymore. The real magic, and frankly where the big market demand is, happens completely out of sight, right there in the back end.
Think about this for a second. It honestly seems impossible that mistakes don't happen when millions of people hit search for a flight to London or Paris at the exact same moment. Why doesn't someone double book seat 12A? Well, the secret lies entirely in the back-end architecture. It has nothing to do with the pretty graphical interface you're looking at, and absolutely everything to do with how data is communicated under the hood in mere fractions of a second.
To demystify all this, our roadmap today is pretty straightforward. We'll start by looking at the API messenger, then we'll unpack SOAP and XML contracts, figure out how to actually validate that data using assertions, and finally, we'll see how to scale our tests way up using parameterization. First up, the API messenger. Let's look at the foundational relationship that actually powers the entire internet, how two completely different systems manage to talk to each other.
Picture this. You're a client sitting at a restaurant in Paris. You only speak English. But the chef in the kitchen, our server in this scenario, only speaks French. In the digital world, it's the same exact thing. Maybe your banking app was written in Java, but the airline's database it needs to talk to is written in Python. If they speak completely different languages, how on earth do they understand your request?
Well, this is where the API comes in as our universal translator. Think of the API as the waiter. You give your order in English, the waiter takes it to the kitchen, translates it into French for the chef, and then brings your food right back to you. An API does exactly this for software. It seamlessly exchanges data without any human intervention at all, no matter what operating system or programming language is being used.
And when we interact with an API, we're basically just doing one of four things. You're either adding a new employee, which is a POST request, looking them up with a GET request, maybe updating a password with a PUT request, or removing them entirely with a DELETE request. It's literally the universal language of the web.
Okay, moving to our next topic, SOAP and XML contracts. Let's peel back the next layer and see how this communication is actually formatted and packaged, specifically for a type of backend system known as SOAP.
The crucial thing to remember here is that a SOAP web service strictly uses XML. That means every single message you send to the server has to be packaged in a very specific structure if you want it to be understood. You can think of it like a physical piece of mail. First, you have the envelope. That's your mandatory container. Inside, you might have an optional header for things like security credentials. Then comes the body, which holds your actual data, like the name and age of the employee you're adding. And finally, if something goes wrong, the system returns a fault, which is really just an error message.
But hold on, how do you even know what the API can do in the first place? Well, before you test anything, you absolutely need a WSDL file. That's Web Services Description Language. This is your ultimate contract. It's kind of like a postcard that tells you exactly where the web service lives and what functionalities it actually supports, like adding, subtracting, or retrieving details. Without this WSDL contract, you're flying completely blind.
Let's look at validating with assertions. Now that we understand the language and how it's structured, let's explore how we actually test these back-end responses using an industry-standard tool called SoapUI.
At its core, testing is incredibly simple, right? You're just validating the actual response from the server against what you expect it to get. But in back-end testing with SoapUI, you aren't just staring at a screen of raw, messy XML code to see if a test passed. Instead, you set up very specific automated checkpoints called assertions.
These assertions are great because they allow you to instantly and automatically verify the server's response. For example, you can ensure a specific string of text exists using the contains assertion, like checking if the word true came back when you added that employee. You can use not contains to make sure a sensitive password isn't accidentally exposed. You can even check the SLA, or service level agreement, to guarantee the server responds fast enough, like under 200 milliseconds.
But the absolute most foundational assertion you're going to use is checking the HTTP status code. Validating for a 200 HTTP code is basically the gold standard. When you see that 200, you can breathe a huge sigh of relief. It's the quickest way to ensure your basic request was successfully received and processed by the server without blowing up.
On the flip side, sometimes you actually want things to fail. Asserting for a 500 internal error or a specific SOAP fault is exactly how you validate negative test scenarios. Think about it.
If you try to add an employee ID that already exists, you want the server to throw an error, and you can build an assertion to actively expect that exact fault.
Now, what if you have a massive, endlessly scrolling XML document returning hundreds of data points, but you only need to verify one tiny piece of information? That's where XPath Match comes in. Instead of just hoping the word true is somewhere in that giant document, XPath lets you pinpoint the exact XML node. It's like finding a needle in a haystack. You can travel directly to the department or ID tag to verify an employee ID matches perfectly, and just ignore everything else around it.
Finally, let's talk about scaling via parameterization. We can test an API and we can validate it, but to truly automate this and make it powerful, we have to eliminate hard-coded data.
Look, if you hard-code a test, meaning you manually type the name John Doe and ID 123 directly into your XML request, you can only run that test once before you have to go back, manually delete the data, and type something new. It is incredibly tedious. But by parameterizing the inputs, you replace those hard-coded names with dynamic variables. Suddenly, your test transforms into a highly efficient, reusable engine that can process thousands of different scenarios with zero extra effort.
And in SoapUI, you can manage these dynamic variables at a bunch of different levels. You can pass customized test data from the broadest global level, which applies to all your projects, all the way down to a highly specific test step. So you might store a server URL at the project level, but keep specific age and department variables down at the test case level. It's super flexible. But you want to know the ultimate trick for rapid scaling? It's taking those properties completely out of the tool. By pointing SoapUI to a simple external text file that contains hundreds of variables, you can effortlessly run massive regression tests in seconds. The system just iterates through every single employee name and ID automatically. It literally does hours of manual work in the blink of an eye.
Mastering these back-end concepts is exactly what transforms a standard software tester into a highly sought-after test architect. As our source material points out, UI testing is great, but it can be slow and prone to visual breakages. Back-end web service testing cuts right to the chase. You're validating the core logic, the database interactions, and the data integrity in a fraction of the time. The market demand for this is just absolutely massive right now.
Thank you for joining this explainer. We've gone from a simple waiter analogy all the way to understanding SOAP, XML structures, running assertions, and scaling up with parameterization. I really hope this leaves you eager to dig into your own WSDL files and start building some powerful automated backend.